Hi, hello, welcome to BEL English. This is an opening with a Canadian company. So in a farm atmosphere where the position is as a mushroom picker. So mushroom picker, a person who can harvest the mushroom which are grown enough. So this is the job, name of the job and the position is. So the employer is not looking for an experienced candidate. They are looking for even if it is a fresher without experience, they are okay with it. And someone who doesn't have a qualification is also fine with the employer. So they just want someone who can work on the farm and collect the mushrooms as how they give the requirement, for which they are providing a remuneration of hourly approximately somewhere like $14. So before we get into the details of this particular job opening, if you are new to the channel, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon next to it so that you'll receive regular video updates on new job postings. Yes, let's get into the job opening now. So this is a Canada mushroom picker. It's a farm job where you are obliged to collect the mushrooms which are grown enough while harvesting. So mushroom, people might be aware like what a mushroom is and what it is and why it is being used. It's a food like food product. It's a vegetation which is used as food. And this is grown in a restricted place where it will have some darkness so that the mushroom crops grow very well. So that is where you are going to work and you are going to collect them when it actually reaches the harvesting stage. And mushrooms would be harvested on a daily stage, like it will be collected on a daily basis, and that will be on a huge yard where you have to collect them. So it's a huge farm where you'll be ongoing directly with the safety equipments, wearing your safety equipments and precautionary equipments, and then you'll be collecting the mushrooms from the farms. So the position name is mushroom picker and the employer name is Highline Mushrooms. So Highline Mushroom is the employer name, the position name is mushroom picker, and the job details is here as follows. So it's the salary of this particular job is for the employer is offering like $14.25 to $14.73 on an hourly basis, and the work duration would be 30 to 66 hours per week, which is like which could be somewhere like a planned or a overtime or a day evening, like weekend, even it could be early morning and morning hours. So that depends. Altogether, he'll be able to offer you somewhere like working duration at a cost of $14.25 to $14.73 per hour. So this is what the remuneration is being given for this particular position. The terms of employment is a permanent employment. As you know, permanent employment is something people will be looking for, and that too on a foreign soil, people would look for definitely a permanent job. This is a permanent job and a full-time job. So as I was saying, the timing would be during the day hours, evening and weekends, of course, which should come somewhere like 30 to 66 hours per week, which might also include early morning hours, overtime, and also the weekends. So start date is as soon as possible because the employer is looking for someone who can join them immediately, and the vacancies he has is approximately 55 vacancies. So he is looking for a huge number of people who are convenient and comfortable with working as a mushroom picker, and people without any experience or education qualification is being preferred by him. So this employer has applied for a labor market impact assessment, which is known as LMIA, which is very important in Canada, where if a foreigner is about to work, they have to go through this LMIA process. The employer has to apply it over there, and then only then he'll be able to employ foreign employees. So that's where this employer is very special, where he has already applied for LMIA, and any foreign employee is entitled to work there. So it's a very open position where LMIA has been already applied by him, so that you will be easily recruited by this employer if you try to apply for this particular job position. To hire a foreign worker to fill labor or skills shortage on a temporary basis. As he has already applied for filling the positions, you are very well open to apply for this position. Canadians and permanent residents are able to and encouraged to apply. So though he encouraged, even the foreign employees or foreign candidates are also encouraged to apply here because he has already applied it in LMIA. The job requirement is in specific to English. They are looking for people who has a good knowledge in English because all the communication would happen in English. So you should be in a position to understand his language and to communicate with him effectively. So effective communication in English is much required here. And education, no degree, certificate or diploma. He's not looking for any sort of education. Even if you are a school dropout or a college dropout, you don't have any degree, you don't have any qualification, it's fair enough. It's just that all he wants is someone who knows English in order to communicate with him and to understand what he communicates. Experience, of course, he is not looking for any experience. Even if you are a fresher or person who has different background or from a different experience or a different industry, different domain, irrespective of everything, he is looking for someone who is inexperienced and unqualified. Okay, and then additional skills. Additional skills requires you to clean the work area. Obviously, any employer would look for it. He wants someone to clean his work area. So, besides the regular collection of mushrooms, so mushroom picker is someone who picks the mushroom as soon as it reaches the entire growth, the full growth. It has to be picked and collected, and then that will be packed on a secured environment with a cleaning process and all, and then that will be sent to the market. Your role is to collect the mushroom and hand over it to the employer. You will be handing it over. Probably they might be having different processes where you might be fitting inside any of such workflow queue, where you'll doing a specific process. Besides that work, you are supposed to know cleaning the work area as well, because that's obvious. Any employer would look for someone who's working under him to clean his workspace, which in turn makes everyone a healthier environment to work on. So the weight handling would be approximately like 23 kgs. So 23 kgs or 50 libs. So that's how that is the amount of mushroom which you would be carrying. So probably you may have to collect so much of mushrooms and then drop it to the point which he mentioned. So that would come approximately like 23 kgs. So you should be in a position to lift that 23 kilograms of mushroom. So that is how it will be. And sometimes it also includes your equipments as well. You might be wearing some boots and your safety dresses, which also includes approximately some weightage. So that will altogether brings about like 23 kg. So you should be in a position to handle that weight. The type of crops, as we were discussing about the position, it's mushroom. So mushroom is the crop is being cultivated, and you are a mushroom picker. And the security and safety is being mentioned as medical exam. So you are supposed to undergo medical examination before you get into the job. So that would actually screen your physical fitness and other comorbidities or more issues which you already have. So you'll have to go through this medical examination before you get into the job. And then tools and equipments, you have to wear the steel-toed safety boots and then gloves. So of course it's the safety equipment which would be given for you. You have to wear that boots along with the gloves. So you're supposed to wear them always while at the work location in order to ensure your safety and your colleagues' safety. So you are supposed to wear them, so in order to ensure a safety environment for everyone working along with you. The work site would be confined spaces. As you know, the crops like mushrooms and all would be grown in a confined space without much of the exposure of third parties or other peoples inside, because it wouldn't be like an open farm, which is typically for other food crops and other kind of agricultural cultivation. So that's entirely different when it comes to the question of mushrooms. So mushrooms are completely grown in an atmosphere which would be alienated from other people, which would be completely confined, and other outsiders would not be allowed, and sometimes even that will be in a most darker place where that will be covered with the green mats and all, in order to avoid the daylight falling inside and to reduce the actual light falls into the crop. So that is how the place would be. So you are supposed to work on that confined space at a height. Of course, sometimes that will be at a different specific heights, because the mushroom can be even grown at different heights on a same space. So you'll see some amount of mushroom grown at 1 feet height. Above that, another at a 1 feet height, you'll find another layer of crops, and then above that. So you can have so much of layers on a specific area itself. So that could be somewhere like a higher position. So you might be working at certain heights as well. And wet and damp, of course, a farm definitely have to be a wet and damp atmosphere. So that is where you're going to work. So your work environment will be confined space at a height, and wet and damp. So that is how it will be. The transportation, you have to take care of your own transportation. The employer is not providing any transportation. You're supposed to make your own transport arrangements. And work condition and physical capabilities is again, it's a fast-paced environment. You have to adapt to that fast-paced environment, repetitive tasks. So of course any farm work would be more or less a monotonous repetitive task, and this is obviously one of them. And handling heavy loads, you are supposed to handle heavy loads, which we were discussing just a few moments back about the weightage, how much you would be handling, approximately 23 kilograms. So that is how the handling heavy loads. And physically demanding, of course you have to be physically fit and physically demanding for doing your role, in order to perform your role without any hiccups or hindrances. So manual dexterity, hand-eye coordination, ability to distinguish between colors. Of course you have to understand the colors in order to refrain the actual cultivated mushroom and the non-grown mushroom and the spoiled one. You have to differentiate the colors. Standing for extended period, obviously that was what a mandatory requirement in any kind of farm work. Bending, crouching, kneeling, large workload, overtime required. So this is how, if something demands, something comes in immediately, the employer would obviously ask you to extend your working hours in order to meet the client's requirement which the employer would have received. So in order to meet that, in order to compensate it, you may have to work for an extended period as well. That would actually add up to your overtime as well. So these are the work conditions and physical capabilities which are being looked from you. The personal suitability is effective interpersonal skill. You should have effective interpersonal skill in order to maneuver with people, in order to get together with your team members. You have to be a flexible team player as well. Values and ethic and reliable person. So you have to be a reliable person with values and your own ethics. You shouldn't be someone who wander enough and someone who is not accountable. You should be a flexible person and effective interpersonal skill. A person with an effective interpersonal skill and a good team player as well. So the employment group help, this is specific to someone who is working from the indigenous group or different group sectors which is available in Canada. So if you belong to any of such groups, you will be entitled for this employment group help. Like, this employer promotes equal employment opportunity for all job applicants. Okay, irrespective of your group belongings and irrespective of where you come from, he treats everyone in the same way. So including those self-identified as member of these groups: indigenous group, newcomers to Canada, senior students, veteran, visible minorities and youth. Whoever you are, the employer would actually treat you in the same way. So how to apply? You are supposed to send in an email. So I've mentioned the email address through a reference link which I've mentioned on the below description box. You can cross-check the description link and then access the email address through mail. You can send in a mail, postal mail, to the mentioned address on the below description box. So I have given the postal address, contact address also of the employer in order for you to send a mail to him. You can visit in person on a specified time. He has given a specific appointment time where you can walk in directly to that specific postal address and meet him regarding this job opening. So 3 ways could be used here. Either you can send in an email, your updated resume with your experience, your cover letter and portfolio has to be emailed to him through that email address. To that email address, once he go through and evaluates it, he'll get back to you on that. Or you can send a email, postal mail to his postal address, where you have to again attach the hard copy of your resume, portfolio and the cover letter, and you have to send in. And if you can carry them in hand as a copy, you can directly walk into his mentioned mail address along with your documents, as I was mentioning, on a specified time given by him. So these are the methods through which you can apply. Anyone can apply irrespective of your education, qualification or any sort of professional certification which you have. This particular job is open for anyone who are willing to work, who are capable of working in Canada, who wants to do as a part-time or a regular job as an income. So can very well join this particular take this opportunity as a challenging and very well apply for this position. Try it out and let me know how it turns out. So if you have any questions or queries, just let me know in the comment section. I'll be pleased to assist you on that. So please like this video, support the channel, subscribe to it, share it with your friends, and so that will be helpful for them. We'll see you soon with another new job opening. Could be an abroad or Indian opening. So take care guys, all the best for you. See you soon. Bye bye.